Hello and welcome, my dear grade 11 students. From our computer science book of NCERT, we are going to learn about chapter number 8, strings. We have learned earlier in chapter 5, chapter 6 about strings. We know when we write a statement in quotes, whether it's single quote, double quote or triple quotes, we call it as a string. It can consist of characters, it can consist alphabets, alphanumerics, but it must be in quotes. Now, we also learned that we have strings, lists and tuples. List and tuples, as we learned that we can differentiate them because they make use of square brackets, parentheses and then the commas. They make the differences. Now, in chapter number 8, string as a topic, we are going to learn how strings are created, how we can use strings to deduce outputs, what is the importance of strings in our coding. Yes, we are still going to follow the rules of Python. We are going to observe where the lowercase and uppercase is going to be applied when we are talking of strings. We are going to see how we can use strings using letters, digits, white space or any other symbol. Now, the first thing we are going to learn here now is that strings can be made up of one or more Unicode characters. The characters can be letter, digit, that is numbers, white space, that is when you press your space bar, and then any other symbol. So see, an important thing is it can be created by enclosing one or more characters in a single, double or in triple quote. Look at these examples here. In the first string, we have hello world. You can see this is single quote here. String 2, hello world in double quotes. String 3, hello world in triple quotes, and then string 4, triple quotes, double quotes and with white space. So all these variables have the same value of hello world and they are all correct. Now look at this one, string 3 and string 4. We can write this in multiple lines. Okay, look at this here. Hello world, welcome to the world of Python. You see, this is the first line, this is the second line, and we have the quotes here and here. So we know that in strings, the rule of quotes is most important. A string is identified when it is enclosed in single, double, triple quotes. And a string can be of a single line and can also be extended to multiple lines. This is the first thing we're supposed to know. Now, Python does not have a character data type. String of one length 1 is considered as a character. What this means, if I have this word here, each, okay? Now, what is the length of this word? That is 4, because it has 4 letters in it. So, the length is 4. Now, the same thing for Python. It does not have character data type. So, when we write a string, if this is a string, for example, and it has quotes in the beginning and the end, the length of this will be considered as the character. Now, assessing characters in a string, let's see what it means. Each individual character in a string can be assessed using a technique called indexing. That is to say, when we have this string, okay, look at this for example, hello world. It is a string because it has quotes in the beginning and in the end. If we want to access one single character or just say two characters L and O, we call the technique indexing. The index specifies the character to be assessed in the string and is written in square brackets. You know what are square brackets, isn't it? These ones. This square here and then this one, the closing one. These are square brackets. So we write the number that we want to know of the string. The first character from the left of the string is 0 and the last character is n minus 1. N is equals to the length of the string. This simply means, let me tell you, look at this here. Hello world. The total number of characters in this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? So if we have this here as 11, the total number of strings will be 12. Okay? Get this, understand this. This is hello world and the total number of characters in this string is 12. So n is equals to 12 because we said that the index of the first character from the left in the string is 0 and the last character is n minus 1 where n is the length of the string. Okay, let's look at this example. You will understand it better. Initializing a string 1. So string 1 is hello world. Okay, now str1, look at this here, gives the first character of string 1, string 0, which is h. We said that when we start counting, we start from the left and the first character is always 0. So here 0 will be h. Now if we want str1 in this is string 1, the whole of this is string 1. In this we want the 7th character. Okay, so we write here 6. Why are we writing 6? Because we started with 0. So from 0 to 6, it will be the 7th character. Now what is the 7th character? It is W. Okay. So str1 string 1, 7th character is W. Then string 1, 11. Okay. Remember we started from 0. So when we count and reach 11, 11 will be the exclamation mark. The index must be an integer. It can be positive, 0 or negative. Okay, so it must be an integer. Therefore, if we write 15 here, obviously it is out of range because the total number of characters in our string is 12. N is equals to 12. So if you write a number higher than 12, it will give you an error. And which kind of error is this? This is an index error because the index is out of range. Remember what is a range? A set, okay, or a collection of numbers or alphabets or letters, digits, okay. So our set here, the range we used was 0 to 11, that is 12 characters, and we have 15 here, that is why it has given an index error. The index can also be an expression including variables and operators, but the expression must evaluate to an integer. Okay, so whatever you put here in the square brackets, it must be an integer. Now look at this. If we say that the 6th character of the string, we want the 6th character. Instead of writing 6th, we write 2 plus 4. Okay, 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. Look at this, it is W. But we want to make use of an integer here. We do not want to write this with a operator. So it will give an error. Another one, 1.5. Now this is a decimal value here. It's not an integer. So it is a type error. What is the type error? That means the type of number or digit that has been used is incorrect. So the string indices must be integers. Keep this in mind that when we have a string, look at this. This is a string here. When we have a string, from the left, when we start counting, that is from H, we are going to begin with a 0. And the total number of strings, when we have them, we calculate and then we count the number of characters. The total number is n. Okay. So the first character will be 0 and the last character will be n minus 1. Whenever we want to know the character on a number, we write that number in square brackets. And when we run our program, it will give us the alphabet on that number. I hope that's clear. Now you see, Python allows an index to be negative also. Negative indices are used when we want to assess the characters of the string from right to left. Now we will see negative values. When we start from the left, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. But when we start from the right to the left, that is from the end towards the beginning, it becomes negative. -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. So the index here will be -n, and n is the length of the string. Let's look at an example. You will understand it more easily. Now look at this table here. Indexing of characters in the string hello world. This is our string hello world. Now the positive indices, see, when we are starting from the left, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So n here is 12. That's the total number. This is our string. But when we start from the right towards the left, it starts from -1 to -12. An inbuilt function length. Remember, whenever we write a function, it must have the void parenthesis in the end, the rule of functions. So an inbuilt function length in Python returns the length of the string that is passed as a parameter. For example, the length of string 1, hello world, is 12. We have seen it here. Look at it from 0 to 11. When you count it, it is 12. It gives the length of the string 1. So if we write len string 1, we are asking the program to return the total length, which is 12. You see, the first thing, when we have a string, the first thing we should do is make a table like this. It makes it easier for us to understand the position of the indices, whether it's positive, negative, the total number of characters, which is n. It makes it easy. Okay? One more thing we should know about string is that string is immutable. Now, immutable data type means that the contents of the strings cannot be changed or altered after it has been created. If we write hello world as a string, okay, we cannot make changes to it after it's created. And if we try to make a change, it will give us an error. What kind of error will this be? It will be a syntax error, okay, because it is immutable. That means it cannot be changed. Look at this example, string 1, which is hello world. If we try to replace character E with an A, that is to say string 1 and then 1, that is this E here. The E here is on the positive indices of 1, positive index 1. So if we try to replace it with an A here, it will give us an error because we cannot change a string after it's been created. Okay, so look at it, it gives a type error here. String object does not support item assignment. Assignment operator, that's the equal to, remember, because we are trying to replace E with an A. We have already created the string. It cannot be changed. It is immutable. So dear students, watch this once, twice, thrice, understand it very well. It's not that difficult. We should know that strings are always written within single, double or triple quotes. We can also give white spaces, and we can write strings in a single line or in multiple lines also. A string contains characters. It can contain digits, alphanumerics, symbols, white spaces. Now each character has a positive and negative index, that is the position where it is located. When we start counting from the left side of a string, we begin with a positive. We begin with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the end. Then the total length of a string is n. But when we begin counting from the end, that is from the right hand side, the ending of the string, we begin with a -1, and towards left it becomes -2, -3, -4, and so on. This is an introduction to strings. Watch it and understand it. Thank you.